So today's excursion is the Smokey the Bear Historic Park, and it's here in Capitan, New Mexico. I didn't really stop to think if there was more to Smokey the Bear than just being some commercial I remember from when I was a kid, and of course, you know, the forest fire warner of bears. Anyway, there's a whole park and a whole museum. It's really cool. I'm going to show you around. And Smokey's actually buried here. So there actually was a real bear. This is an exhibit and I was so impressed. I wanted to show this to you. So, you know, I lived in Vegas for over 12 years, or about 12 years. And Vegas has done a phenomenal job of having some very cool exhibits, and they're interactive, and this is on par with those kind of exhibits. Look at this. See? So, for example, how does fire affect wildlife? Low intensity fire can be beneficial. Sorry, you're seeing my shadow. I mean, check this out. They have just done a phenomenal job. I tend to be more impressed with the exhibit's creation than the content. I don't know. I'm just kind of funny that way. As we spend more time together, you'll see I'm more about the overall experience, less about the information and details. Just look at this stuff. Isn't this just wonderful? Look at that. Check it out. Smokey wear a harness. Looks like my doggies wear harnesses. Yeah, there was a real Smokey the Bear cub. Look at this timing. It's Smokey's birthday. Is it really Smokey's birthday?
Well, it's actually the 75th celebration of the Smokey Bear campaign, which came a few years before Smokey was actually found. So when they found Smokey and he recuperated, they decided that he would make a good mascot. So he was flown to the National Zoo in DC, where he spent his life until he was 26 when he died.
26.
And then they brought him back. The village of Capitan, folks brought him back at 3 a.m. in the morning because there were rumors that someone was going to try to steal him. So they brought him in at 3 a.m. in the morning and they buried him, and his gravesite is here at the park.
Yeah, we'll go out there. But you're going to say this weekend what? That this weekend
every first full weekend in May, we have a celebration for Smokey. And it just so happened this is the 75th for that campaign that I was talking about.
Gotcha.
So we have the highway blocked off with a lot of vendors and activities, firefighting challenges, wood carving.
And when that's this weekend?
That's this weekend, May the 3rd and 4th. So come on down.
I'm going to be...
We usually get around 3,000 people.
Wow. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be... I should be by the... should be where it's cool. I'm heading for cooler temperatures.
We're only get up to 68 this weekend.
Here.
Really nice weekend.
Yes, here, but God, the rest of I was in Southern, and it was just too hot. the Smokey the Bear campaign actually existed first. So a cartoon bear was the mascot. And then here in Capitan there was a fire. And the firefighters noticed there was a baby bear clinging to a burnt tree. And so they rescued him, and he was so tiny, he was only 4 pounds and could fit in a shoebox. And they rescued him. He was badly burned. He was pretty sick. They took him to a vet in New Mexico. They got him back to health. And then they named him Smokey, and he became the live mascot for Smokey the Bear and his message. And then that bear was later transported to Washington, D.C., to the zoo. And he lived there till he was 26. And he had visitors come and see him every day. And he was known all around the world. So who knew there was that much to the story of Smokey the Bear? And his grave is here. So when he died, I forgot that part. When he died, they actually brought his body back here to Capitan. And I don't know, this part chokes me up because they I'm getting emotional about a bear, but they wanted to bury him, you know, by where they found him and where he came from, and probably where his mom unfortunately probably perished in that fire. So anyway, isn't that a sweet ending to a really cool story? Okay, I'm going to read this to you because I can't see. This is the resting place of the first living Smokey bear. In 1950, when Smokey was a tiny cub, wildfire burned his forest home in the nearby Capitan Mountains of Lincoln National Forest. Firefighters found the badly burned cub clinging to a blackened tree and saved his life. In June 1950, the cub was flown to our nation's capital to become the living symbol of wildfire prevention and wildlife conservation. After 25 years, he was replaced by another orphaned black bear from the Lincoln National Forest. Like Lassie. They just keep making more. Having lunch at the Smokey the Bear restaurant.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Today is all things Smokey. Look at that cute
Oh, yeah.
curtain.